Welcome back to the show, everybody. Bang! Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Episode number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nymph. Episode Nymph. Silver Sacrifice. Well, welcome back to Triple the God Speaks on Power Rangers Beast Morphers because it's been months. According to this information I have, the last time we talked about Power Rangers was on April the 27th. April, January, February, March, April. It has been almost 5 months since Beast Morphers has shown an episode in the AmeriKKK. But all across the other world where this show airs and not America, the show already done. Season 1's already a wrap. Jason on the way, team ups and all that stuff is coming soon to a hood near you. But we have got to get through the back 10 of these episodes because of a thing I honestly thought would have stopped when Hasbro took over. Ever since they started doing this with Samurai, it made no sense of why you would do this as the way to air your cable television show. But again, I am not target audience. See, this is different from, when I do Kamen Rider Super Sentai, when I watch a show that's aimed to move toys. This is just a TV show on a kids channel that just happens to move toys as a thing it does on the side, but then most of the things that they move toys for are not even technically adjacent to this, except when you talk about a dude named Jason. But we'll talk about Jason later because there is a Jason reference in this review somewhere. But it's stupid and it's dumb and it sucks, and I probably should have just tried to find a way to get the international joints and review them every week, but I kind of made a promise that I would stay on brand and review them as they come on American television, which was probably not the best thing to do. But how about we talk about an episode of TV, everybody? Let's do that. Let's talk about an episode of television, because again, I watched the episode and I had a little minute to really actually think about this, because I'll be for real, I really think this would be a different review if I watched the episode, got right on the mic and said something versus having a couple of minutes to let it stir in my head. Because here's the honest truth. That was a pitch perfect episode. The players and how they played was perfectly well played. I say that 5 times fast. I'm not, but you try that at home. Homework assignment for you. Because when you really think about it, this episode is what I like to call an enhancement reinforcement episode. Now, see, that doubles down on normally what is an enhancement episode, but also reinforcing what's going on. And it's kind of important, at least in this instance, because of the way that American viewers have to watch Beast Morphers, of reminding you previously on this show, things happened, and previously on this show, people took massive L's to get over a Gold Ranger and a Silver Ranger. That was the thing that happened in this show. Massive L's taken by everybody not named Nate and not named Steel. L's everywhere. You remember these? I know you ain't forgot because these were taken. And that was the thing that established everything. And it's the opening of this episode, for anybody who came, Laps fan, came back when the show premiered to remember who Nate is as a character. Before everything happened with Steel, is that Nate was a character trying to find his way. A character who felt lost in the shuffle, that even though that he is this amazing genius who then did all his work, all he wants is people to bond with. And slowly but surely, with Young Juice, with the boy Ravi, and of course Zoe Cakes, he started to build that. And the rule here is that we ship Nate and Zoe, and if you don't believe, you can pass. But regardless of shipping, is that over time, this built into a friendship, which ultimately led to the ultimate expression of friendship, becoming a Power Ranger. Because that's a thing. Also, in becoming his Power Ranger, Nate found the one thing he truly wanted. A brother in Steel. And the opening of our episode reinforces and enhances this fact of them having this back and forth yo, What's up, brother? What's good? Pound it, baby. Yo, man, yo, hey, yo, we need to get you in a chair and get you some things. Nah, little bro, nah. We finna work it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm still, baby. Gotta dust my shoulders off, man. Let them know I'm lean. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, because again, I'll use it as a segue to do that. I think the way that they're handling steel is the way that you want to do it. Because, so I can say this for the umpteenth last time, until I have to say it for another time, is I am really glad that this relationship between Nate and Steel is completely 101% million diverging between the relationship that Masato Jin and BJ Stagg shared. That is a dichotomy you can get nowhere else. And when I think about Go Busters, and yeah, we finna get on Go Busters for a second because I'm here now. I've landed in Go Busters land. We here. We might as well ride a ride or two while we here. Understanding and knowing, even swag busters aside, what the role of Jin was and what the role of Jay was and their role in that and then their role with each other, it's a lot different than someone who is lonely inside and who feel he has nobody and doesn't really have that camaraderie of having a sibling. Now has one because you have a robot that's part you, technically. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna play a part maybe in the rest of this episode. But understanding and knowing that we took the first couple of minutes to establish this relationship, and for the show to do that means that it's going to play a vital role and be important. The thing is, and I have to say this, for the sake of plot, how more important can this be? Because I really think this is the episode where you get it out your system. Where, yeah, brothers, between brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's a throwback to a review. The last one, actually. At this point, now that we've watched this episode, and you know, and now that I know what it is and how it is, we can move on from this. We can. It's that they're brothers. It's a thing. Nate, Zoe, kiss now. Kiss. Sorry. That was in non-poor taste, and I don't care what you think. Okay, so brothers. Let's put that over here in the we've established this box for this episode. We're going to push that over there. It's going to come back, and I'm going to have to pick the box up later. That's why I put it over there, because I'm going to have to get it, but I'm not going to get it now. So box over there. Don't worry about that. Meanwhile, in Bad Guy Town, you know, we got the usual suspects. We got Roxy Cakes. We got that boy L Blaze. L Blaze. You should play Virtual Fighter. You really should play that game. That game is really good. Do you know that's his new name? L Blaze. And I'm not talking about E-L. L Blaze. Because that's all he do is take massive L's. L Blaze. Oh, man. Even when I come back, I can come up with new nicknames. L Blaze and the boy Scrozzle. Like, they trying to rebuild the Cyber Gate because Evox still wants to be free so he can conquer Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, has he really been stuck in that cyber dimension for 10,000 years? I don't think so. He don't know about hard times, daddy. He don't know about hard times. But yeah, they trying to rebuild the Cybergate, and their whole plan is to get Steel, bring him back, so you can finish what it was that you started. So just remember that. Evox is really angry that he's still stuck there and stuff like that. So L Blaze and Roxy Cakes build a monster out of an antenna from like 1884. Like, yo, I'm trying to watch Channel 9 or whatever. And they listen in to what the Power Rangers saying. So they go to the gym. I'm like, I know, you know what I'm saying? As a reference to my big brother Jay, like, you went back to the scene of the crime when you took your first major L, episode 1, L Blaze, to the boy Young Juice. Young Juice delivered that L. You watching the do. I'm Blaze, can't nobody fuck with me. Here comes the juice now, baby. Go take this L. I ain't think he ever wanted to show his face up there. They got a picture of his head over there by the juice machine. Here lies Blaze. He took that L from that boy Young Juice. But they go over to the gym like, yo, we finna work out like Kanye, you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, the fight break out. And then this fight is the one thing I wanted. That hell, the show think is so good. It's in the opening credits. Man, they hit that Jason, that original, that first episode kick Jason did in Power Rangers. I'm like, damn, that boy Nate is a goon. I'm like, yeah, do that shit right there. Cause he hit that spin kick so clean though. Like, yo, it's Lil Jason. Like, if in the cream up, if him and Jason don't do that simultaneous Jason spin kick, I'm gonna be upset. They better do that. Like, for real. They better do that. Like, he hit that spin kick so dirty. I was like, wow. I'm like, no, like, I was waiting for this whole review to sit up here and mention the Jason spin kick, bro. That spin kick was dirty. That spin kick was dirty. But yeah. Remember, that we spent like the very part of this review talking about the brother thing? Here's a part of that I did not establish. After all this is going on, because you know what I'm saying, because we had some Betty Cakes and little brother Betty Cakes, skimmermarizzles, that we're gonna call them, you know what I'm saying? Some hijinks, as it were, because, they slid all the way down the Megazord or whatever. We actually gonna talk about the Megazords later, you know what I'm saying, for things and other things. We'll talk about that. But they had to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork, and then it got shredded, and they daddy, blah, blah, Commander Pops or whatever. Speaking of Commander Pops, let's get to the juicy. Let's get to the real. Remember, I mentioned earlier about how the correct players were in the play for the play. Commander Pops was in the right place, because you really needed him to sell this story of Steel is a threat just for the reason that Evox wanted. So we'll shut him down, we'll take him apart, we'll do whatever to say today. It reminded me of that episode of Lightspeed Rescue. Like, that's a random thing to remember about the Cyborg Rangers. Y'all probably don't remember that. Like, yeah, some commander came in there and told OG, like, yo, we got the cyborgs. We finna put in work. But the thing is that even though at the end, things were resolved, when you think about both of those arcs, it's a very small similar purpose. But in the case of Lightspeed Rescue, just because we've landed in Lightspeed Rescue land, is that whole lesson was man versus machine, and how even though machine can do it, it's the man that makes the Power Ranger. It was kind of the lesson they were going for. I probably should have brought this up when I reviewed 01 earlier. But the thing is, yeah, that was a thing about man versus machine. And this is a whole different thing than that, because this is about protecting your people, holding down the family. The Rangers did everything they could to make sure that Steel didn't get hemmed up. But Betty Case and little brother Betty Case got hemmed up, and that thing you're thinking, I appreciate your thinking it, but we not gonna go there today because Betty Cake's being tied up and stuff. Ooh, I did that. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. God, I pray to you right now for forgiveness for that thought I had about Betty Case being tied up. I know my fellow Goon Squad man, you know what I'm saying, they had that same thought. But I just ask for forgiveness really quickly, you know what I'm saying, for that thought. But maybe one day she'll be bound up for real, and Beast Morphers forgive us. In your name I pray. Amen. 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 Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? We cleared that with the L guy, so we should be fine. Anyway, understanding and knowing that Commander Pops his head was in the right place. Like, sometimes, and I'm gonna give you some real. Sometimes you gotta make the hard decisions. And a lot of times the hard decision is never the popular. Like, well, for real, most of the time the hard thing to do is never the most popular thing to do in the world. That's just rap. That's mostly anything. Very rarely in life is the popular thing to do not the right thing to do. Because a lot of times your popular choice is the shortcut, the easy way out, instead of toughing it out. But sometimes you got to make the hard decision. And I don't know that when I think about Commander Pops in that moment as the character of understanding it, these are what things are. Because he said it himself. For the safety of everybody we have to protect. He a ranger, but he a danger if Evox get his hands on him. So we got to do something. So you have to make those hard decisions. And equally as such, because especially in the case of the boy Young Ravi, who ain't nothing but standards and procedures, the character. Like, yo, for the family, dog, we'll break every rule in the book, cuz what's good? And I'm like, yeah, I like that. You do that, Ravi. I'm like, I gotta give respect. Like the whole squad banded together, like, yo, we gonna get him out. And then, you know, Betty Case got hemmed up. And I'm like, yeah, we just talked about that. But anyway, in that, once Betty Case and little brother Betty Case got hemmed up, it's when Commander Pop saw the light. Like, still, like, I'll give myself over. Just let him go. The heroic and probably the right thing to do. But even when we talk about good versus evil in most media you absorb, giving yourself over to the bad guy is not the thing you do. But in this instance, it kind of worked out pretty well. And we're not even talking about the end result. Because usually the whole hand yourself over to the bad guy usually ends up with someone in a bullet in their brain. Just for the sake thereof of anyway, blah, just because. I'm like, I'll give it up to L Blaze and Roxy Cakes for being a little... Having a little respect for, you know, the surrender, because all they wanted was steal so that they can do Evox's dirty work. So I respect them for not, you know, like stabbing Betty Cakes in the back or something like that, or shooting little brother Betty Cakes in the brain or whatever. I can respect that. Like that's how bad guys should do. Like, have a smidgen of honor. I'm like, yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, you know what? We rolling that. Have a smidgen of honor. The word smidgen, ladies and gentlemen. SMIDGEN. Smidgen. A smidgen of honor. No one got their brains blown out, but this is a kid show. Had this been somebody else, somebody would have got dead. You would have got dead. You wouldn't have been dead. You would have got dead. ASAP. But here is our twist today. In what I appreciate, and I'm going to use this as a segue to get to everything I want to before we get up out of here, is in this segue here of Evox can't get that body because he's half human. That's the way to make sure that you deal with your Evox problem in a way that, you know what I'm saying, that keeps him confined over there with you trying to find another way out the Cybergate. But given the way that other previous seasons of Power Rangers have ended, Evox ain't got long. So I'm like, unless I get to the end of this, to the end of season 1, and Evox magically survives, which I highly doubt he is, because usually, even, and this is a spoiler for a little bit later today, folks, even at the cost of actual bing, bang, boom, and actual plot sense, we'll just eliminate a villain just to close the book. And then we'll deal with it, or in the case of a show that came before it, we'll not deal with it at all. But, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, still showed up, you know what I'm saying? He slashed the thing, you know what I'm saying? Evox can't get that work. Now, here is the other thing that I want to highlight. And this is more of, I'm the one and the only, and I watched a show called Tokume Sensei Go Busters, right? I appreciate that they, at the beginning of this episode, still was like, yo, our Megazord's transport? Here's the thing. There's a reason for that. In Go Busters, there's a reason why. There's a reason why Jin and Jay Zords teleport in. I'm not going to get into that, because that is a humongous spoiler for a very important thing that holds the story of Tokume Sentai Go Busters together. So we're not going to get into that. But I appreciate that, even given that they are bound by the footage that they have, that you just explain that away immediately. Nate so gangster, he just makes out we don't have to ride in. Our stuff just teleport in, bruh. Thumbs up. I appreciate that. A nice callback. And the day was saved thanks to the Powerpuff Girls because Bubbles is the best. It's when the last time I said that. But yeah, seriously, they sat up here. I'm like, still handed Commander Pops his hand and like, yay, we did it, we did it, we did it. And that was the episode. No, seriously, that was the whole episode, dog. No, seriously, whole episode. Done. Like I said at the beginning, this was a great episode. I am, however, glad that now that we've established that it's between brothers, we are family, all my Power Rangers and me, and we've done this now, we can get back to work. We've established. We need to give Steel that 2 seconds of character development of we'll shut him down because for the sake thereof to Evox can't use him. So now the bad guys need another plan. And again, like I said, it will surprise the hell out of me if Evox makes it to season 2 of Beast Morphers or whatever they're gonna call it. I really hope they don't call it Super Beast Morphers. Please don't do that. Beast Super, don't even do that either. Let me not put ideas in the air. Just call it Power Rangers Beast Morphers season 2. Just putting that out there. Just do that. But this was a great episode. Again, like I said, I'm gonna say this. I hope that I'm done, at least in the instance of talking about Masato Jin and BJ Stagg and the comparisons between Nate and Steel, that I'm kind of done with that. Because the show has shown me that that's your pivot. That this is the way you wish to adapt this Sentai of the brother thing versus, you know what, I'll give you this. If you didn't know, the actual relationship between BJ Stagg and Masato Jin is the straight man and the funny guy. With Jin being the funny guy and Jay being the straight and Jay the funny guy and Jin the straight man. That's what they do. Their overarching character orbit with Hiromu in them, that's a completely different thing we cannot get into. Ever. Never. Don't ask me. Unless what you want is for me to review Go Busters, which I will the next time I get around to watching it. But I don't want to give you that because what that dynamic is in that Sentai is something that is not translated to this Power Ranger show. And given the types of characters we have, it wouldn't work anyway. You could try to shoehorn some of the Sentai sensibilities into it. We're going to get into that later. But it wouldn't work. The thing of Nate having family for real and having Steel be that, that's actually a holdover from Go Busters too, if you didn't know. Like, it's a holdover from Go Busters in a way that unless you watch Go Busters and think about it with like some thought, it would never occur to you that a lot of what Nate is going through is a lot of what Go Busters was about for the majority of it. So there's that too. So and get the box back out. We're gonna stuff this whole review in it and close it and just heat it. We're done here. We're done. All of that is done. Got to get to episode 10. I'm gonna watch that. I wish they didn't have these split seasons. It's dumb. But we're going to be back to work as usual. But look, if you've made it to the end of this, I'm the one and the only triple to G.O.D. Mr. CRACKCOCINE. Hashtag entertainment's #1 dope man. The baddest monster in existence. Always got my back 24/7, 365. Squish murder in the congregation. May they be praised. Betsy, Janine, Magdalene, the ones, the twos, and the threes, and the fours, always holding you down. Yo, if you made it to the end of this, subscribe button. What else is there? Let me see. Subscribe button, bell, like, dislike, social media links, cash money to give to me. All of that is available right here, man. If you want to do more, learn more, stay tuned when we put out this work. As far as you are concerned, you, above that other stuff, sit back, relax, stay tuned. Plenty of Beast Morphers, plenty of everything. We are back to work. It's been too damn long. We back to work. More show for you. Yeah, more show just for you. Yeah, it's over now. Right after these commercial messages. Ooh, man, it feels so good to be back. Glad Beast Morphers on normally and stuff like that. They really moved the time around, so I gotta catch it at a different time now. But what you gonna do about that? Regardless, more show right after these commercial messages.